can help your traveling life. There's one thing that's right wherever I go. That's where I am.
Oh, there's an error. We should call this error for a 404.
404 error.
Yeah, isn't that one of them? I think that's a thing.
People really don't like my Australian accent from the last clip that Mark
I
put
heard
up.
so many people were like, that's a terrible Australian accent.
Way to focus on the topic.
You're missing the point. You're focusing on the wrong part. I had that with we reposted a Houthis joke that I wrote last January.
But they're still at it.
Yeah, and they're
Houthis?
like, you don't understand, the Houthis are fighting for the Palestinians. I was like, yeah, but I'm not talking about that. This joke is about American consumerism and the fact that we're defending our Amazon packages from China by fighting these Houthis in the Red Sea.
Yeah.
That's the joke. And they're like, but you know, and I'm like, you're focusing on it's over here, baby. It's over here. Which, that's what I wrote in the comments. It's over here, baby.
Yeah, that's all the internet.
That's, yeah.
If you're mad at this, then you're obviously the person that's not intended to have understood it in the first place.
If you're offended by this stand-up clip that I posted or this podcast clip, I didn't miss the mark. You did. Like,
Yeah.
I came in at a bad time. You were doing something, and you were looking for social media to save your day, and this clip was the wrong clip for the moment.
Yeah, and it also means that's your algorithm, so that's all you see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means you're angry so much on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook that they're like, I guess this is what you like. This might piss you off.
Mm-hmm.
Here's this dim-witted comedian talking about international relations in the Middle East.
We were talking that we're just too. There hasn't been enough war in America.
Right? Yeah.
There needs to be some sort of like. Well, look, this is not. We could talk about this later. I feel like I'm about to go on a real wormhole right here. But like something to. We just haven't seen war.
Yeah.
Like people here have not seen it to go, and so they got to find something to be like strifed about.
Yeah.
You have to have some sort of. I don't know. I don't want to say disaster, but like some sort of physical downfall of society in a way to people to go, oh yeah, that's right. We're actually just we're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we need
Play the violin now.
People don't remember. Like we were in. By the way, welcome to the podcast. I'm assuming we're recording.
Yeah, we're recording. Yeah.
This is episode 404. We're coming from the beautiful Burrow House Studios, brand new. Mike set this thing up. I'm gonna do a walking tour. Look at it. He's so proud. He should be proud. Of this place.
This place is beautiful.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I loved the last podcast studio. I thought that it always looked great. And then when I remember I would post a photo of like a background and the comments were like, whoa, you guys really work in a small space. I imagined it to be so much bigger.
Yeah.
Well, this one is as big as like it looks. We are in a giant room and there's another one. And then there's like a center living room that looks like Shannon Sharp does his podcast over
That's
there.
where Cat Williams drags people through the mud. That's where Cat Williams tells the truth.
While drinking Hennessy. Do you want
to be the king, you gotta kill the king.
First of all,
Cat
I
Williams is
love
the best.
Cat Williams, and I love Shannon Sharp's podcast.
Yeah.
I think he's doing an inside joke where every episode he wears his clothes a little bit tighter. and it's like this it's like this running joke that I don't know if he's doing, but he is doing.
He looks like he's getting closer and closer to becoming like a motivational car salesman speaker. Like just the tighter the clothes and like the worse the theories
The
on
nicer
sale.
the glasses.
Yeah.
The nicer the bottle of Hennessy. Anyway,
You don't have abs. You don't work hard enough. I'm like, all right. Do you want the car or? I'll tell you right now, I'm not buying a car from someone with abs. Anyway.
Ever. No, I'm not going to feel bad about me and make you commission.
Yeah,
No, dude.
We
You
had a
eat some
guy
carbs.
when we bought our RV. This guy was the whole time doing like the F&I stuff, like the upgrades and everything to try to upsell you.
Yeah.
Before we started, he kept talking about it. He's like, "Yeah, I got 2 houses, both have pools, so like, electricity's so great." I was like, "Yeah, I'm not buying anything from you. Like, you just lost every you. Oh, cool. Tell me about all the diamonds you have,
Yeah,
and then like, you sure you don't want the insurance." It's like, yeah, I'm positive, not from you, pal.
There's a lot of podcasters in podcasting that are comedians that are doing very, very well, and they're still like, sign up for the Patreon if you want a bonus. It's like, how much? You're in a Bud Light ad.
Yeah.
You're in a commercial for Bud Light. You're over here going, hey, if you could throw a couple bucks in at Patreon, you can watch this video of me farting into this guy's face. And you're like, well, take my money immediately.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know if and I'm pro-capitalism, because anytime you bring up money, people just assume that you're a communist. It's like, no. It's just, like, don't you have a shame? Like, a little shame? No, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you make money doing whatever, but then when you, like, nickel and dime people on certain... That's how I feel about paid meet and greets. Like, I kind of have a weird... Like, these people already bought tickets. Mm-hmm. And then now to meet you... I get the thing where it's like, oh, the venue's too big, so I can't meet with everybody. I get that thing.
Yeah.
But I think there's like a way around it where you don't have to like charge people an extra $150 or $50 to meet you for a second and take a photo.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't that make you feel a little, oh?
The only time I saw it where it made sense was just like the clubs being... We have like a 20, 30-minute difference between shows. Yep. And like, if everyone stays to meet, we're never going to get the show done.
I get that.
So like, if you want, I want to, but it's like, so you got to put some sort of barrier to entry.
Yep. Right.
But at the same time, it's like,
don't charge $1 million.
Don't charge, Well, Harlan Williams charged $10 and you can get whatever you want signed, take a picture. It just kept the line moving and it was,
right.
Yeah.
And he would use that to tip. Like, it wasn't like money he would keep. It was just like, I got to give them something, but also like, it can't be everybody. Because there's just no time.
Metallica doesn't charge for a meet and greet.
They don't?
The band, you know what they do? And I love this idea, and I'm going to take it if I ever get to the point where I'm in venues that I can't, it's not like a club. They have a fan club, and then people sign up for the fan club, which is free. You just give them your email. And then when you buy a ticket to see a show, they put your name in a lottery and they pick like 50 people.
That's great.
To come back, and then they like sign stuff for you, take pictures.
Yeah.
So obviously it's exclusive. It's only 50 people, so most people won't be able to get in, but at least they're not like tickets are already $1 billion.
And they're making it accessible to everyone.
Yeah, and it's a lottery, so it's like
sometimes
fair.
it's like $1,000 to meet people. It's like
so dumb.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I remember I once met a college kid that had Ariana Grande at their college, and they got to meet her, and she was like, oh, she was so like not interested in meeting us, and then she goes, and she has horse hair. And I was like, what does that
mean?
I'm like, that's what I asked. I was like, is that like a put down? She's like, no, she has fake hair, it's a weave, and it's horse hair, so it's really good, but it's horse hair.
Oh.
I mean, don't take that came from like an 18-year-old college student that told me that 10 years ago, so take that for what it's worth, but it's a little inside.
She smells like hay.
Ariana, can I get a photo?
No.
Horse jokes. That's why you came here. Oh, I already love the studio. We need to fly back and do more episodes.
Yeah, we do.
Just move back.
Just
crying
move
out loud.
back, Emma.
You can have 2 houses.
We are going to be charging for meet and greets now.
Yeah, you are now. Yeah.
Maybe we can pull that off. But yeah, we came back yesterday, and last night we met up with your fiance Becca and yourself, and we went and had Chinese. By the way, amazing Chinese food.
We love it so much.
That was so good and down to earth. It's not like a fancy spot.
Giant portions.
Yeah.
That's the best orange chicken I've ever had. I felt like white trash ordering the orange chicken because I know it's not authentic Chinese food, whatever, but it was on the menu.
Well, the reason I got the orange chicken and shrimp is because you ordered orange chicken. And I was like, well, we can't have 2 orange chickens at the table. There's only 4 of us. Like, oh, there's a combo, orange chicken and shrimp. Oh, I like both those things. Let's church it up a bit.
Yeah.
That's exactly who I am.
Yeah.
Like, if you would have ordered first and you got the orange chicken, I'd be like, man, I can't. Then we're just like, then we're like too
You guys got
white.
red chicken?
Yeah. Then we're too white at the Chinese
Sometimes
restaurant.
when we want to order the same thing, you get all weird about it. I'm like, we can just order the same thing. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but it kind of is. I
It's
feel
not.
like we're screwing the deal because what we also like to do is we'll order, like, if we both want to pick the same entree, we go, all right, what's your second choice? And then we get 2 different entrees, split them, and then we both get to try different things.
Yeah.
That I think, which is also, you like doing that
I like
too.
doing that.
Yeah.
But sometimes, just get the same thing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Like this morning at breakfast, you went bagel. and it's Persian New Year. So you go
Persian New Year.
Did you know that
Today?
It's
Today.
As
What
of
is
this
that?
recording, by the time it comes out, it will be a week later.
It's the first day of spring, March 20th,
Yes,
and it's Persian New Year. It's a big deal.
it's a very big deal.
Very-
You have to wear new clothes, which is a very Persian thing.
Yeah, everybody has to wear like new clothes, and then you're supposed to.
New like tags new, like brand new clothes, or just new
Everyone
for
wears
you?
all their new clothes. Yeah, brand new clothes.
And
Speaking
you
of
jump over.
capitalism, Jesus.
I told her, I'm like, that's such a Persian way to
Persians
celebrate.
are very like. I don't want to say bougie,
Let us
but,
try.
like,
Let us try. Go on, you got to give us a second.
Well, they-
Well, they all work in malls, so they got to have all the. They have the new clothes,
Wait,
right?
what?
Yeah, they all work. Yeah,
Don't they? Isn't that a thing? Persians. I guess maybe just Persian rug stores. I just assumed that meant the people are Persian.
Yeah, Persian rug stores.
Yeah.
I feel like all the guys in the middle of the kiosks that
They're
are
all
like, would you like to try
Really?
this spray or
Maybe
this
it's in
cologne or
Maybe
this
New
perfume? I
York,
felt I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe I'm just
No,
racist.
you've probably
Maybe
spent
you're
way
just
more.
racist.
Oh yeah.
Emma
maybe
points out,
maybe is the key word here.
hard maybe.
yeah.
Hardly racist.
Hardly.
Partially.
Partially.
What's the race? You know.
Who can I say what about?
What can I say?
Emma points him out immediately. Anytime we walk by, she'll be like, "She's Persian."
Well,
and then I always like to say, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell him to get out of here." I'm like, what do you want? And then she's like, "It's my dumb dad joke."
when you whisper it, it's racist. Because you would say it out loud if it wasn't. So, pot calling the kettle black.
I just don't want to say hello. You know.
yeah, she likes noticing other Persian people, but she doesn't want to interact.
I
with
don't
them.
want to interact with Persians.
Wait, is that a thing where if you see a Persian in the wild, you have to talk?
I don't know. Persians are very outgoing, so like if they hear you're Persian, sometimes they'll just bust out into conversation. Like,
I'd
it
have to
happens.
imagine if, like, as a white person in like a non-white country, if I saw like other white people, they're like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
you're like when you see someone with the same shirt. Huh? Hey, it's us.
How happy was I to see those Americans at that hotel in Germany?
Oh, yeah.
I was so happy to see them. Just bumbling American tourists. I was like, thank
Sure.
God. Because we were in Germany, no one smiles. And I don't know if you know that. It's
No
a
one
cultural thing.
smiles.
Oh, they don't cross the street until the crosswalk guy shows up. Till the little white guy
Yeah,
on the
we
light,
noticed
they
that
will not
too.
cross the street.
Remember
No,
that?
no one,
They-
nobody. You
Yeah.
could be, we were in Münster, which is a smaller town north of Munich, about 5 hours by train. And we were like, to cross, it's a little street. There's nobody
There's no
anywhere.
cars.
And there's just people standing at the red. And, you know, you do what they do culturally. So we're both standing there. And then eventually we looked at each other. We're like, what the hell are we doing? And we just crossed. And nobody joined us. Everyone was like, and there's also no yellow. It's red, green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll
And
just
then
turn.
it'll just be green, and in the middle it'd be like red. And then you're like, well, how would I give me a countdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also what it was like to talk to them. When you talk to customer service people, like the front desk lady.
Oh, yeah.
Or that guy that we talked to.
She was like jolly, happy, friendly, and then it just shut off after.
turned red,
Yeah.
and she left. And I was like, what was that?
Yeah.
We had more questions.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, historically speaking, I assume we all understand why they're very rule followy because they know what could
What are you
happen.
talking about?
They know the worst case scenario. They're like, so let's just do all the rules. If it don't come out of the rules yet.
Yeah.
Please talk amongst yourselves.
my God.
I stopped to see how this would go.
Yeah. I could hear it. I'm like, let's take a look over here.
That's I always see on the comments of podcasts. They're like, eat more. Can you chew into the mic louder?
Breathe more.
I remember Steve Austin, Stone Cold, had a podcast, and I think he
Thank you for clarifying. I thought you were talking about the $1 Million Man.
Yeah. 316?
Yes, 316. And I think he has a deviated septum or something because he probably broke his nose a million times. So his nose would whistle. When he would talk into the mic, it would just whistle in
Yeah.
there. And people, that was the comment always like, quit breathing like that. And he's like, I'm just breathing. Yeah, yeah, he's Steve Austin.
How come he never came out with a candy, a line of candy,
Why would
like
he?
in the shape of butts? That would be awesome.
In the shape of butts.
Yeah, candy asses.
Oh.
That would
Or
be
cans of whoop ass.
Yeah, cans of whoop ass, whatever.
Oh, is that his catchphrase?
Yeah, he's like, I'm about to open up a can of whoop ass on all of you.
on your candy
I've
ass.
heard you say that.
Was that was
Yeah.
that Austin or was that The Rock?
Candy ass was The Rock.
Was it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick your candy. That was more The Rock, but Steve Austin But also the people that have I don't know if you know this, a lot of people don't like The Rock because they figured out how phony he is. Like there's a real revolt in the wrestling community.
Well, and he's a billionaire. He's no longer one of them.
But he's also I don't know, sorry about this wrestling talk, but since Vince McMahon has left and the company is now run by TKO, which is pretty much CAA, I think.
Yeah.
The Rock owns a portion. He's on the board of directors. Wow. So he's like a part owner. So like they'll have storylines going between other wrestlers and then he'll just show up, interject himself in a way that doesn't make sense. Jim Cornette talks about it on his podcast. And then they like find a way they have to make it make sense. And so imagine we have a TV show, right? And we're like writing the episodes. And then the day we're going to shoot, The Rock shows up and goes, I'm going to be in this episode. And you're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. We already wrote the show. He's like, I'm already on camera.
Too bad.
Out there.
I got my makeup on.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
And then we got to figure out how to like make it make sense with the stupid Rock out there pointing at his goosebumps all the time. That's what he does. He goes out and points at his goosebumps.
Oh,
He's like, look at me, goose pimply. And I'm like,
Look at me, I still feel.
Look
at me with emotions.
At this point, that might be a little eczema. You might want to put a little lotion on that. But anyway, I don't know how we fell off on that. Germany, that's where this started.
Germany, they follow the rules. Hitler, we got it. Yeah. We know why.
But it threw us off, the staring and the not smiling. It threw us off enough that, like, first of all, I already have social anxiety. So I remember the breakfast. I'm going to tell this breakfast story. I said it on stage and it really worked, but it's true. Where it was free breakfast. It was like, not free, it was included with the hotel stay.
Yeah.
And it's nice, but it's packed in and it's buffet style. So I remember Emma and I were sitting there and I finished my breakfast and she went up to get more and I was left there. And my plate was empty. So I moved it off to the side, but I wanted to hold on to my utensils because I didn't want them to take it. But there was like egg yolk on both of them. So I didn't know where to put it. I was like, oh, I should put it there. What I wanted to do was just suck off the egg yolk. I just wanted to like just suck it right off and then put it down. But there's people too near and I've already been stared at for 2 whole days. So I'm like, they're watching, you know? And so I didn't know what to do. So I'm having this like conniption fit. And so I'm just holding on to 2 yolky utensils. They're dripping. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then it took like 5 minutes, but you finally came back. And it's so important that your partner doesn't have the social anxiety you do, because you sat down, the first thing you did was you took a croissant, threw a fried egg on top of it, and bit right in, flakes of croissant flying everywhere. And I was like, hell yeah. And then I just sword swallowed the butter knife and sucked off the egg yolk. And I was like, that's the kind of confidence I needed.
Yeah.
And then right after you said that, you're like, I think these Germans are racist. And I was like, what? And he's like, I think that's why they're staring at us. I think they're racist. And she's like, there's a couple old ladies right over your shoulder and they've just been staring at me. And I think they're racist. And I was like, damn. And I was getting like my speech ready because I've always wanted to be like in an interracial relationship where someone gives us something and then I just like, love is love. I just have my like Martin Luther King speech at the breakfast.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, we kept talking about a few minutes later, I watched your eyes and someone else joined the table and you're like, oh, never mind. An Indian man just sat down.
We're in the clear.
And I was like, oh, that just meant they were watching you because you plowed that croissant with a fried egg and the flakes went everywhere.
Listen, I'm going to plow my breakfast.
No
one can get in my way.
I need more, this is why the balance in our relationship, I have too much of the other side of social anxiety. You have very little, and then it makes me a little better. But in the
if
offset,
anything, I need a little anxiety.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need a touch of me, and I need a scoop of you.
Yeah.
And then to make like a normal person.
To make one egg croissant. To get you together. So you were scared to just lick the yolk off the fork?
Sometimes I get weird. Like, I get in my head too much, especially, I hate restaurants where people are right next to you. I feel like we can't talk.
Yeah.
I love going to like a sushi or ramen spots that usually seat you really close to other people. And I just feel like we can't talk. I feel like a conversation is being heard, so I can't be candid. I feel like I can't be myself. And that goes to everything, like little things that I do. I get fumbly, I knock things over. And so I feel like social anxiety tries to prevent me from embarrassing myself. But then there's other times where I feel like I should have social anxiety and I don't, and then something bad happens, and then my brain's like, maybe you could have used a little right there.
Yeah.
Because when we got room service, our first night in Germany, we got room service. We were tired, long travel day, and we put our robes on. It was like a nice hotel. It came with robes.
They were like, "Was do you want? Ketchup, probably."
That's a good accent.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick on that.
Yeah.
You damn Australian pickers.
You can't. Yes. No, it's not possible. I have grown up with the Germans in my life, so that one I have perfect.
That's so good.
It's
My
great.
I'm just doing an impression of my grandmother.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
She's
would help.
dead now, so that's not like an accurate impression.
Yeah, you should put a little more ghost in her voice.
Was ist das? ¿Qué pasó? No, that's Spanish.
¿Qué pasa?
I just ruined it.
But yeah, we got room service, and you were laying down, and you're like, "Hey, the bed's like around the corner from the door." And she's like, "Hey, when the food comes, can you go get it?" And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." So it comes, and I answer. I'm still in my robe, mind you, and I answered the door, and it was this young lady, maybe 20, young, and I was just like, I was excited because there's food. You know how you ever forget what you look like and what you're wearing? And so you're just being yourself. And I looked at the food and I was like, and I got out of the way. I was like, bring it on in. It was like this cart on wheels. And she looked like nervous when I said, bring it in. And she was like, And then I'd never seen this before, but she kept her feet in the hallway and she shoved the cart in. Like she stretched so much. It was like an Olympic event about how far can I stretch. It was like she was doing the sit and reach, but standing in the hallway, and she shoved it in. I was like, that is okay. And so I pushed the cart in myself, and then I said, thank you, and I closed the door. And I was like, what the hell is her problem? And then I caught a glimpse of myself in the full-length mirror, and I was like, I get it. I get, like, this is in the training video.
Yeah.
Like when she got the job, she's like, hey, if anyone orders 2 entrees and a bottle of wine, I was like, hey,
and there's only one of them, and he's in a robe.
yes.
There was no sight of Emma. It's like, oh god, here we go.
I'm like, that's where I could have used some social anxiety. I
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
would have
yeah.
gotten dressed,
Yeah.
shirt and a tie, like, bring it in. And
I have similar eating ones though, like
Yeah.
because I already look like I'm gonna like people when they see me sitting down to eat, they're like, oh, here we go. What's he gonna do? Because so I'm always just like, well, I have like 50 napkins. I can't. I'm constantly just like, because I just don't want to give them the satisfaction of like, we saw this big dude and he was disgusting. Like I just have that in my head that I look gross eating.
you don't. We ate a
You
whole
don't know
meal with
because I
you.
don't eat real in front of people. When I'm
Yeah,
alone,
yeah.
that's when it's mayonnaise all up to my ear. Like that's when I become Shrek. But
We're like, it's serial killers versus mass murderers.
For
when
sure.
Eating at a restaurant, we're serial killers. Like, don't leave any evidence behind, clean up the crime scene, and then alone, it is just da 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 da. Just there's mayonnaise in my eyebrows.
Yeah.
It's bad.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's bad. Like if you ever break in to a hotel room that I'm in by myself after a show, in my underwear, food in my lap, wine off to the side, crisscross applesauce, watching wrestling on TV. It's a sight.
that's what Shane Torres' bit. He's like, I always get two beds when I go to a hotel.
Yes.
He's like, because I sleep in one and the other one, everything's a napkin. It's so funny, but it's also like so perfect. 'Cause
It's so true.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
I'm not.
I've definitely used an eating
also
bed
so
before.
gross.
Oh yeah, you gotta have an eating bed.
Yeah, that's the eating bed.
Right.
Also, sometimes when a hotel is kind of gross and dirty, I feel like the flavor of the room gets into the food. Like if it's like not a great hotel
Yeah.
room, it's kind of like middle
You can
grade.
taste the Marriott.
Yeah.
You can
taste scent
yeah,
in the
you
food.
can
Yeah,
taste
yeah.
the cigarette smoke of someone that smoked
Yeah.
a cigarette in here 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I'll just eat out. I won't eat this here. It's going to ruin the meal.
I only eat
gross.
hotel food if it's free. Like if it's for an event or a conference or something, then I'm then I'll eat it. But otherwise, I'm not.
I can't stop picking at this cookie.
It's delicious.
so
It's so soft, no one can hear you chew.
Really?
Well, I don't know. It didn't show up on the screen, so
Really?
tell us in the comments.
Yeah, tell me in the comments if my chewing has ruined this episode. But yeah, other than that, we had a good time in Germany. And you guys went to Tahoe. You guys did some skiing?
Did some skiing. Almost broke my body, but
Did you?
I fell full speed, face first, stop, right onto big pile of snow. But thank God I had my helmet on.
Oh
I just
my
put it back
God.
on because I stopped because it was not attached. And I was putting it on. I was like, you're not going to fall, but might as well. Like I thought you'll be fine. And then like 3 minutes later, I was eating snow.
Oh my.
Man, skiing is so dangerous.
Yeah.
It's really, our Becca's sister-in-law was an avid skier her whole life, and last 2 seasons ago tore her ACL. Still is having a hard time getting back up. She's still trying, which is amazing.
That's horrible.
And then we took a lesson, and the guy's like, "You guys are ready for the black diamonds?" And
That's like the hardest one.
it's the hardest one. 2 of them are ready, but me and Lauren, her sister-in-law, were not, because
Yeah.
she's still trying to like get her legs back under. I'm barely a skier.
Yeah.
And it took us 20 minutes to get down this mountain because we were just like, we couldn't.
You went on it?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Oh my
because
God.
everyone was going. I was like, all right, I guess I'm going.
And then once you got on it, you realized what it was.
Awful. And then I knew it was a black, but I was like, all right, this guy thinks I can do it. And the whole time I'm just like, don't die, don't die, don't die. Like every turn I was like, I'm
Black
going to die, you're going to
diamonds
die, I'm going to die.
Terrifying.
Yeah, it was awful.
Those guys aren't like, I've never gone skiing, but I'm picturing the guy that's the instructor. He just likes skiing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He
pretty
doesn't
much.
care about you.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know how clumsy you are. He's just kind of watching you. Yeah, go for it.
Well, the
You
guy-
won't know till you go.
I took a lesson the first time I ever skied, and the guy, his specialty was teaching blind people how to ski. So I was like, that's my guy. This
Yeah.
guy, he was just skiing backwards, watching me the whole time. This guy was just skiing ahead of us and turning around going, good job, everybody, you're good.
What accent is that?
Which one what do you think it is?
That one sounded Russian to me.
Nah, he was Spanish.
He was Spanish.
Yeah, he was from Barcelona. So maybe his comments are right. Maybe I'm not good at this.
I'm a horrible accent guy. I'm really bad.
I'm bad at picking them in the moment, but if you give one to me, I might be able to do it. But everyone's going to be that accent. Like, give me
Yeah.
like any impression. It's like, oh, have a good time.
Why don't you
That
do
could be anybody.
Yeah, they could be
Persian
anyone.
for Persian New Year?
Persian for is that
Ooh,
what is
what's
that?
a Persian accent?
Hello, my name is Emma.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. That's.
today I want to tell you an story.
Oh yeah.
An
I hear your
story.
mom in that.
A story.
A story. So talking to your family, specifically your siblings, is interesting because they don't have a Persian accent. They have a slight Canadian, and like your sister Ellie it's more Canadian Persian
Well, I mean, my sister Ellie has like 5 different
accents
mixed into one.
Yeah, because she grew up all over.
Yeah, it was the UK. She used to have a British accent, and then she got the Canadian accent, and now she's married to a Lebanese guy with a thick Lebanese accent. So she got a little bit of that. And then at work, she talks to Indian people all day. So she's a little bit of I always make fun of her for her
It
accent.
is when you hear she has a very nice speaking voice, but when you hear her accent, you're like, I can't pin that. What is that?
The Canadian Persian, it's not a story, it's story, eh? Just switch the A to the
You
back.
you move it to the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always remember I have a hard time doing even my mom's accent because I do it on stage a lot, but it gets so cartoony where I'm like, my mom doesn't say that.
Yeah.
Like I have this joke where I say, he no lock the door. And I'm like, that sounds Japanese. Like every time I say it on stage, like no one's called me out on it, but every time I say it on stage in my head, I'm like, that sounded Asian. And the way you said door at the end, that sounds like a kind of upsetting racial thing you just did.
The grumble in the front.
Yeah.
You look at the, oh God, no.
Door. And you're like, what was that? I'm trying to go for Hungarian. I don't know. I'm so bad at accents. I think I've told this story, but one time I went on an audition and I think I did so bad that the lady at Nickelodeon, who likes me, she liked me because she liked my stand-up, so she kept giving me chances. And I just proved to her left, right, and center I can't act. And she was like, maybe you try it in Hungarian? Can you do a Hungarian accent? I was like, oh, yeah. And then I got 2 lines into that. She's like, yeah. Go back.
Just try American again. Just try regular.
Try talking like a person.
Yeah.
Can you try that?
I had a British buddy that I got an audition to do something in a British accent, and we had the same agent. And I go, hey, can you just read this? Send me a voicemail saying these lines so I can just kind of get it. And he's like, why wouldn't they just ask me? He's like, I'm British. Like, this is crazy. I was like, yeah, it's a good call, but can you please do it? And he never got the audition. I was like, that's you're the one British guy in the lineup.
There's certain auditions that you don't get where you're like, this is kind of offensive because I also did the thing that the character did. Like one time it was for a janitor, and I used to be a janitor, and they wanted a janitor with like a European accent. I'm like, I'm European. I can do this. I just couldn't do the accent, and I couldn't even act like a job that I've done. And I was like, how am I this bad at it? I remember she said, just do these lines like you do your stand-up. And I'm like, way to let me know I'm really bombing. I'm not even, I was like, because I didn't say this to her, but in my head, I'm like, I thought I was Zoltan stand-up-y right now, and apparently not.
Just start with the how's everyone doing tonight? Well, not exactly like you're saying. Maybe try something else.
What's up? Where's my applause? How to start. Yeah.
To your lines, you're just like, I'm just here sweeping the floor. And also, I'll be in the back selling merch after the sweeping of the floors.
Come by, I'll sign your sawdust bucket.
Come by, I'll clean up your puke.
Disaster. But you, speaking of acting stuff, you were on the hymns thing. And then you wrote something like they used your image without... Like they didn't give you the job?
No, so I didn't know what was going on. So a bunch of people sent me a picture of like a Washington News or some sort of like big news article that Hims was doing, putting their ad on the Super Bowl. Then it was like not FDA or FCC, whatever, cleared by like the medical people. There was like, It's illegal that they're saying these things in this commercial, something like that.
Yeah.
And the photo was a photo of me holding up the Hims product from an ad that I had done for them.
Which they paid you for.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so I'll take that.
But they didn't tell me it was a Super Bowl commercial. And I was like, well, this ad already ran. Are they running it again? Am I going to get paid for that? And it was a completely different ad.
But they
that I wasn't in, but they used my photo for some reason to like talk about how the commercial's wrong, and then people were sending me this because it's all over the news that this like big deal or whatever, and then they're like, oh, I had cousins reaching out like, we're looking out for you in the Super Bowl, can't wait to see. I was like, I don't know if I'm in this commercial. Like, I don't think it is, but cool, look out for me. And then it wasn't, and they're like, what happened? Like, man, this whole thing's a disaster. So that's more of anything, it's just the embarrassment of not being in the ad that I have to deal with.
I see, okay.
But if they would have put me in, I would have wanted the money.
Yeah. I want Super Bowl money.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of did that. Yeah. We talked about that with Manscaped, where it was this is only going to be on the internet. I'm like, I'm watching it on a TV at a bar.
Yeah. No,
and I'm like, is that, I don't get it. I don't know, whatever. But you found an article about Hims that apparently, what does it do to genitals?
I don't remember what
it's
the
for
article
the hair.
was on, but it was
for regrowing hair.
Yeah.
A bunch of people had taken it for regrowing their hair. And one of the side effects is that it changes the shape of your genitals. And it also shrinks it.
It's exactly what
Makes
you want.
It square.
And these people have gone to the doctor, and the doctor was like, what are you taking? And then they said what it was. And then he's like, oh, yeah, that's definitely a side effect. Like,
well, because they don't ask you to talk to doctors.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, you just like talk to a physician's assistant or something. And you're like,
yeah,
they're just getting paid to say yes.
Yeah. Oh, what's that? You want more hair? Yeah, take this pill. And they don't tell you. That's an incredible. That's like something that would be written in a child's like fairy tale. Hey, you can have more of this, but you got to give up this other thing.
Yeah.
That
So
also
would you rather in real life?
Yeah. Would you rather?
Yeah.
Would you? You feel like you can't get women. You feel like you'd have a better chance of getting women if you weren't balding. But then would you give up some tool?
You can have good hair, but your junk's going to look like a question mark. So question mark is, do you want to do it?
With the dot?
Yep.
And also, it's a Spanish question mark. It's an upside down. It's not the question. It's not American question mark. It was a Spanish question mark.
Yeah. It's going to change the shape, but it ain't going to be a good shape. It kind of looks like a sword. Very thin and flat. It's not
you're
good.
still going.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to find the funniest shape. What's the funny shape of male genitalia that's not normal?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a square.
Like a pear?
It's a moving box.
Pear. Yeah. Just an elbow, like it's got a crook in it. Just a hard. Whoa. I mean, assuming that all guys are the same, which we are, I think we're all pretty similar. How much of a shape difference or shrinkage would a guy have to notice to actually pitch that question to a doctor? To actually go to a doctor and go, hey, I think it's smaller. And then they go, well, we didn't take measurements before, so this isn't going to be a scientific. And then they're like, oh, well, I did. Look at my height chart. I ripped off my wall. This is my height chart from my wall. As
like,
you can see, I used to be over here.
No, but did you measure from the back of your ass crack? Because there's no way it was this size.
I went from sewage to...
Where was the measuring tape starting?
I went from sewage to spigot all the way up.
The whole system's getting counted in here.
So silly.
It's ridiculous.
Is it silly or is it something that all guys have done? If I push it down all the way in the skin and then I could, now it's 10 feet. What are you talking about?
It just reminds me of the Ozempic thing. Well, in a way, because like the dilemma, right? Where it's like, do you rather this or that? Great. Just a great philosophical question. And then you have the Ozempic thing, where Ozempic, this magical medicine that's helping people lose weight, comes from the Komodo dragon. Isn't that like it comes from that like lizard that was endangered, and so Ozempic's in danger, but now people are trying to save this lizard.
They're trying to find a cure for the lizard.
They're trying to find a cure for the loss of the lizard because we're all just gonna have to stick with being hefty if we don't save this lizard.
Well, they've replicated it now. Like it's not.
We don't need the lizard anymore.
Sucking lizard juice.
We don't need the lizard.
No, I don't think we ever did.
Oh.
I read a couple books about it before I decided to take the plunge. So I don't remember them saying the lizard was in danger, but it was a journalist. It wasn't just like a guy. It wasn't like Dr. Ozempic writing this book.
By the way, this is an article I didn't read. I read the headline of, and
I think I read the headline and then I relayed that information to you.
And
well, I have to imagine that people are stupid, so they probably saw like, oh, this lizard enzyme is what they use for Ozempic, and people are just starting to eat these lizards, and now they're just becoming endangered because someone's probably here.
Yeah, you got a guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
is he standing right there?
No. I just saw shoes.
We have people here. Yeah.
Wow.
We have memberships. You can be a member here and work here. Yeah.
Oh, you're a co-working space too.
Technically, for like all just for creatives and like comics or podcasting.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Burrow House.
Creative.
People don't understand the name, and it's annoying.
Well, no, it's like New York has boroughs.
I just don't know how to pronounce things. So
no, it's fine. I'm annoyed that I could have made it an easier spelling name. But it's you know, now it is what it is.
It sounds.
I already made the label for the door, so I can't change it now.
Frames.
Yeah, it's over now, dude.
I love it. I think it actually the name fits how nice the studio space is.
Yeah, and I didn't want to name it podcast because that's too limiting.
Right.
Because I want to be creative in here, man.
Yeah.
I want to do stuff.
Yeah.
Make art.
Make art.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went into the other space, not to be too inside baseball, but there was an easel with an awesome painting of some guy. Yeah. And I was like, what the hell is this? And you're like, oh, yeah, we have a painting painting podcast, like Bob Ross or something.
He's doing Roy Wood Jr. here next week. He's coming in to do a...
That's so cool.
Did you watch the new Roy Wood special?
I haven't, because I don't want to watch it unless I can watch it all the way through.
Yeah.
Because he's one of those guys where I don't want to stop. I want to watch it from beginning to end because he's so funny.
It's so good.
Did you ever hear his story about how he got hired to be a Civil War soldier and like a PBS documentary reenactment thing?
No.
And they didn't really provide too much wardrobe. And like, you got to wear black shoes. And he came in wearing black Jordans. And they were like, we have to dirty him up. And he's like, absolutely not. He's like, you know how hard I had to work to buy these Jordans? And there's clips somewhere on the internet where you can see him in Jordans as a soldier. And it's the funniest story ever. He's just like, you will not be dirtying up these Jordans.
I almost wrote him an email once. One time there's Chuck Johnson, who used to be my college agent, used to work with Roy Wood back in the day. And one time he sent me and him like a group email because his son said something praising the both of us. And then so I have his email, and right after that I watched his This Is Not Happening story where he was on Star Search back in the day, like the reboot of Star Search, and he did well the first time, and the second time he had a rough set, like his jokes just didn't work. And B2K, this like pop group in the early 2000s, these two kids, they were like teenagers, like, yeah, we just didn't get it. We don't think you're funny. They're just like really mean to him. Yeah. And he's like, I almost lunged to attack these kids and beat the hell out of them on live TV.
You mean Roger from Sister Sister?
Yes. That guy. And the person that saved him was Arsenio Hall, because Arsenio Hall was right behind him, and as he like started to move forward, he just grabbed him by the coat jacket and went, eh. And he's like, I owe my career to Arsenio Hall.
Yeah. And
he gave me a great piece of advice afterwards. It's like, people will forget a bad set, but people won't forget a bad attitude. So, and I was like, what? And he said Roy Wood said all this in a set. It's on Comedy Central's YouTube. Go watch it. It's a great thing. But he said how petty he was. He's like, at the time I worked at a radio station in
Birmingham.
In Birmingham,
yeah.
Exactly. And he goes, at the time B2K, and he's like, I would go in and see the songs that were playing. And for years, every time I saw B2K on there, I went Control-Alt-Delete. And he goes, they got no airtime on my radio station. And he's like, to the point where when I would go to record stores, I would find all the B2K albums, and I'd go hide them in the religious section.
I love that.
Like he went out of his way. He's like, no one's listening to B2K.
I am 100% with that.
I loved it. I related so hard to my America's Got Talent thing, where I just felt like I got screwed over, and it was such a bad situation. And I wanted to write him the email because it was so cathartic to hear him talk about it. That this I don't know. It just felt good to hear someone that was so successful and so funny go through a similar thing. That I was like, I wanted to write him, but I didn't have the courage. I had egg yolk on my fingers. I didn't want to.
That's why. And then every time you see a Blake Shelton album, you hide it. And then you're like, oh wait, this guy's never put an album out because he's not a good singer. Perfect.
To be fair, the only guy that was mean to me was whoever edited my thing, because they made it seem like I was boring and nothing happened during my set, which is the opposite. I got laughs, I got booed hard, and then I got laughs again. It was the most nonsensical set in 90 seconds. That's impressive.
That's pretty incredible.
And they showed no laughs or boos. They just made it sound like crickets were happening. And they edited in Heidi Klum saying, I'm so bored right now. And which was not, she passed me. I got passed by everyone except for Simon. He X'd me. And so technically I made it to the next round, but it was like a producer's call and I didn't make, the producers didn't pick me. But everyone else passed me and said nice things, like Howie was like, man, that was incredible. Those people liked you, hated you, and then you brought it back. And I was like, yeah, just like a regular show. Just like a
comedy performance.
Yeah, just like any stand-up show where a guy in an Oxford shirt just like a maniac. And
put down his Bud Light to boo you.
Next to his kids. Like he's like, let me show you how it's done, kids.
You want to know why your mom's about to leave me? Here's why. I got no sense on me.
So silly.
And he wasn't the only one. He was just the one that stuck in my head, the fat guy in an Oxford shirt. But I don't know. Anyway, I really connected to that story, and I wanted to write Roy an email, but I didn't dare.
Roy's a good dude. He would probably love to hear that story.
I'll tell him one day. I'm sure one day our paths will cross, and then I'll be like, hey, that story you said on Comedy Side I really connected to. Yeah. And I'll be like, yeah, let's go burn down NBC. Unless they want to give me a show.
I'll take it right now.
Boom, 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 boom.
Can I be an extra?
Boom, of course.
Thank you.
Can I be?
You're in it.
Can I be Kramer?
Everyone's in it.
We're all in it. We're all gonna be famous.
If I ever get a show, I'm gonna be such a headache because I'll be like, no, I pick all the people, and they're like, what? That's not how this works. And I'll be like, no, you know how like Sandler just had all of his friends and everything? I'm gonna be like that. And then they're like, we can't do this.
You're like, all right, I guess. Okay, no, I'm fine. I'll do whatever you want. You just crumble immediately. I need this cash.
I'd like to be bicoastal. We can't pull it off. I need this TV show money. But yeah, we had. I don't know. Was there something else? I got lost there. I'm too
you had
quick
a
to
Mike
say.
Superfan at your show.
Oh, thank you for remembering.
Yeah.
This past weekend, I was in Sacramento. And a lot of people bring up the podcast when they come up and say hi. Sure. But this guy specifically, I believe his name is Dave, and I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but he says he listens all the time, bought a safe journal for his daughter. And then he goes, I'll be honest with you, I enjoy the show, and I enjoyed watching your stand-up, but I just came because taking a picture with you is the closest I'll get to being to Mike. That was a direct quote.
Pretty good.
And I was like, wow. He's like, yeah, we both. He's like, I'm a CPAP guy. I'm a big, tall guy. I relate a lot. I think Mike's hilarious.
Could his name been Jonathan? Jonathan David?
No, Jonathan David Kinsey?
Yeah.
No, that's another super fan. That wasn't him. He lives in the South somewhere. I hope he makes it to the show.
Seems like a nice guy. We've chatted on DM.
He's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
I chat with him all the time.
But the closest he's going to get to me is through you.
Yeah.
All right, well.
That's how much of a fan of you he is that he sat
DM
through
me?
an hour of me.
Hoping I'd pop up at some point. Where's Mike?
Well, we're doing some East Coast stuff together. This weekend, by the time this comes out, it'll be too late, but we're going to do Stamford and Levittown, which I'm excited to go to Long Island because I've never been, and all you hear about Long Island is not positive. People always even when they say positive things about Long Island, it's always done with a tone of it's an acquired taste. Does that make sense based on what you hear?
Mm-hmm. Trying to find the words.
I mean, it says a lot that Becca didn't want to come. So,
Well, she didn't want to come especially because she was like, "Where you going?" No, I'm good. It's it's the suburbs.
Right.
How do I say this without getting killed?
I mean, this is going to come out after the show.
No,
so
I don't
care.
care.
Yeah.
I'll tell it to their face tomorrow night. It's the suburbs filled with people who think they live in Manhattan. So go to a suburb of Indianapolis, and they're all just like, we're actually from New York. It's like, no, you're not.
Right.
You're 4 bridges away.
Yeah, it's
you've never been here. I've met people out there that have never been to New York City.
Really?
But they're all their whole attitude is I live in New York, and not New York State. So there's that's not everybody, but there's this general
that's the
hatred
stereotype
towards people that live in New York City because they don't.
Right.
But they're so close. You know what I mean?
I see.
It's like working at It's like working as an oil change mechanic 2 blocks from the beach.
Yeah.
You're inside greased up all the time, but you're right next to the coolest place. You know what I mean? You're so close, but you never go because you're covered in oil all the time. It feels like a little bit
I
like
think
that.
that was probably the most offensive way to put it.
Well, yeah.
Just covered in oil.
I could have said grease monkey, but I didn't. Chose to hold back.
I'm really interested to go because that's such a common stereotype. When people bring up Long Island, comedians or anybody, they always kind of roll their eyes. And so I'm excited to go see it because I want to experience the people. I want to see what it's like because you just hear that so much.
Thankfully, the crowd will be mostly Zoltan people.
Yeah, so they're gonna be nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it's not Zoltan people, it's make me laugh. It's a lot of oh, you're funny. Oh, I do it. It's a lot. Hey, oh, you think you funny? It's a lot of that. Just general attitude of I'm funny. So that's what you're going to contend with if you're going to a show that's not your people. Great people. What? I'm not on cam.
You didn't wink.
What are you talking about? No, they are. I know a lot of good people from Long Island. That's not true. They're fine. It's going to be fun. Good food, great diners, great restaurants.
Nice.
The staff at the club are incredible. They're such good people.
Great.
Yeah,
so you've been to Governor's
Oh, yeah,
before.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go.
I've had a few good shows there.
Nice. Well, I'm excited to go. And then we're doing
shows.
Stamford, which I don't know if we're taking the train or driving, but we'll figure it out.
We drive. It's 45-minute drive.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So we can
you
still
don't have to worry about the coming back is where it's the real
Yeah,
problem.
that's where you got to catch that train. Otherwise, you're
But
stuck.
you know what's right next door?
What?
Literally right next door? World headquarters, World Wrestling Entertainment.
That's right. They moved by the train station.
Yep.
The new WWE. I don't know why you're not more excited. The new WWE headquarters is right next to the train station,
Which is right next to the club.
oh, fun.
I wonder if we could go early and maybe get a tour. Well, that's going to be on a Saturday.
Oh, that's a good
Do they do
idea.
tours?
I don't know.
I don't think they do. But we can ask.
It's worth a shot.
I had lunch with Al Snow and his wife. You think if I mentioned
I saw
that
that
at the
picture.
front door,
Oh, yeah.
be like, hey, a former employee of yours, I had lunch with him recently and his wife. So maybe that'll get us in.
See.
You mentioned that you're friends too.
Yeah, friend, he gave me a shirt. Yeah, we went out. They paid for lunch, for God's sakes. They were very nice. So I think I'll mention all this to a front desk security person that will then say, you can't come in. There's no way they do tours.
They don't do tours.
Of course they don't. Of course they don't.
You
We
just
could try to
looked
make
it
a fake badge.
Do you know how many guys that look like us
They've done
walk
that.
through those front doors to just go, can we walk around?
Can I just hang out in the lobby? you have a belt I can hold up?
Is Randy Orton here? Like, how many?
Do you think they're all stored upstairs?
He's in a storage
Like
closet.
cryo froze. Oh God.
But yeah, it's up there. I'm excited because I've done that club before, and I enjoyed it. It was the other one that was weird. The Stress Factory. I like the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, but the Stress Factory, the other one was weird.
Yeah.
It was like Hartford or something.
Yeah, New Brunswick one's pretty good.
Yeah, Brunswick one was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm doing that one again in June. We
Yeah.
should do it together.
I'm booked.
Burp.
I'm busy that day,
Well, he's busy.
even though you didn't tell me
Are-
what day.
Yeah, no, June 6th and 7th.
Oh, those are my busy days. It's my busy season.
It's right after
I'll go.
It's right after the wedding.
Perfect.
When are you guys doing a bachelor party?
Sunday.
No,
In
not
2
a
days from
bachelor
now.
party. The honeymoon.
We don't know yet. We're going to try to figure it out. We had been thinking about it until 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
we'll do something.
She's going to be so excited.
She's so pumped right now.
Yeah. Are we allowed to say it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if she's fine.
Yeah.
She's a full-time podcaster is what we can say.
Yeah,
We'll say.
full-time podcaster. There you go. Her podcast kicks ass.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
I
getting a
listened
lot
to the
of
Vince
people, so-
McMahon one, and I listened to, what was the other one? Did you guys do Peloton?
Yes.
Yeah, I listened to the Peloton one.
It's good because now she can she wants to put all her effort into that, which is good.
That's
I'm
awesome.
excited. Yeah. And now we have this, so it's like no reason not to. You know?
This made me feel bad that we don't live here anymore.
I know.
Yeah, I was like,
I
but we will
know.
fly back and do more episodes.
Sure.
Well, you know what's so funny?
Sure, we will.
I'll say this because I never said this. It's not a thing. But when I was doing my calculations of being like, all right, here's the shows that will, if we stay the same money, here's the couple shows that I can bring that will come with me.
Right.
I think. And Zoltan was right there, and then you're like, oh, we're moving. I was like, oh, go. Scratch that.
Yeah.
I remember
the
when
I
timing
do
was
it. Yeah.
around the same time.
Yeah, it was in November
Yeah.
or October, whenever we
Yeah.
told you, and I was like, hey, I could see it in your eyes. I was like, I think he was counting on us.
No,
staying.
not real, not actually, but
Yeah.
I had done that, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, there's one going. Let's see what else is going to be off the list.
That always.
I want you
sucks.
to stay because I want you to stay, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's
it was
also
just,
part
it was
of
funny
the
at
thing.
the timing
Yeah.
of it was.
That's I don't know. That's always we are enjoying San Diego though. It's very nice, and there's I did a couple spots and it felt cool.
Where at the Improv?
No, just in I
it's
did a
around
coffee
town?
shop
Oh,
show
great.
and a beer show, a
Great.
bar, maybe a bar, and both of them were great. And then I was like, these two shows weren't here the last time I was here. This is great,
Are you going to start a show?
I don't know. Well, because this is they want to do we got pitched a theater for next year.
Oh, okay.
In San Diego, but it's big, and so that means I have to not do a club because they have a
Right.
non-compete thing.
Yeah.
And I want to do it once, but I asked my my manager at Mark and my agent. I was like, hey. If I say yes to this theater, can we go back to clubs? And he kind of laughed. He's like, it's. I don't know if you noticed, but it's pretty fun. It's funny that that's even an option on the table. He's like, you can do whatever you want. Of course you can go back to clubs, but that is funny that you're like, yeah, I'll do this theater, but can I go back to clubs?
Can be
after this?
just the
'Cause
one.
It's just so much more fun. I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I'm not. Maybe if I get to the point where I'm used to where theaters are most of them, then I'll get used to that. But when I do a theater, I feel like I can't mess around as much.
Yeah.
I just did the Sacramento Punchline.
You're far.
200
You're physically far away from people.
physically far. Sacramento Punchline is one of the best clubs in the country. 240 is what they seat, and it was great. I played around. We're gonna put out a YouTube post. It's 30 minutes of crap. I mean, it's good, but it's stuff that I came up with from Germany, stuff that I came up with that week, just me messing around. And I don't the night before we were in San Jose, 500 people. I didn't feel like I had that freedom to just mess around. I kind of felt like I had to stick to the set. And so that's why smaller, that Toronto one we did, it was 120. Oh my God, I wrote so much up there.
Yeah.
I just felt so much freedom to it's no pressure. I can survive this many bad Yelp reviews. If I bomb,
so what?
115 1 stars, I'll get past that. But 500 of them, well, that could hurt. So yeah, I love a good small room. That's why I like the New York Comedy Club so
Yeah,
much.
that's great.
Nice small room.
Yeah, nice and tight.
Man, nice and tight. Snug. But yeah. All right. I get so self-conscious.
Sorry, I'm like really low energy now towards the end of the podcast. It's like that 50-minute mark. I just go, huh.
You know,
This always does seem to come to a natural conclusion of like, I think we're done. Oh, it's 56 minutes. Look at that. Like it always seems to kind of be
every
the perfect
episode
hour.
feels like I just had lunch with my mom, where we get to like the hour mark and we're both just like, well, see you later.
And I really try to, like at 50 minutes, I'm like, I'm a pep up, look interested.
You know what though? You're not a phony.
I'm not.
She's like, I'm going to be genuine. You're like an hourglass. And then I just see the time, like the sand go through the hourglass. And then around the 50-minute mark, it's just like, huh? Oh, what are you talking about? Yeah. But we're going to record another episode on Sunday. So we'll have 2 from this lovely studio to come at you. And then it will be back home at the... in the dungeon.
In the dungeon, yeah.
The home studio.
The litter box.
The litter box room. You're lucky you can't smell from where you are because you're zooming in.
Yeah.
Because it's cat turds and urine.
Yeah.
But the Robo litter box kind of... We should open that window.
Yes.
I've never been there, but it doesn't, I promise you. It's not working. My sister has like the most expensive big cat box litter thing with ozone machines going and everything, and you open the door and you're like, Jesus.
Oh, really?
Just spicy.
We smell it when we come back from a trip.
From a trip, we come back.
we're like,
what
well,
is that smell?
This is the stink we're living with.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And we think it smells fine.
Yeah.
It does not
Well, you
smell
get well,
fine.
just like the commercials, you become nose blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people
There is like a hack. Like, do you just get rid of the cats?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I say that a couple times. And Zoltan gets mad.
His eyes just glazed over.
I just like there's people that hate animals. There's people that like them, and then there's people that love them, and then there's psychos. And I'm over here, and then you're over here.
Oh, I thought you were going to call me a psycho.
No. Psychos are the ones that are like, remember those people we went into their cat cafe in Belgium?
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, they clearly didn't want any people in there. They just had to monetize their love of cats, so they opened the cat cafe. Those are the psychos. Those are the up here. I love them, and I treat them like they're a member of the family. They should have social security numbers.
Sure.
I'll empty my bank account if one of them gets sick. They're family. And then there's where you are, and where it seems like Mike is, where it's like you love them, but you're here. I'm here.
I'm farther down on cats.
Oh, you are
on cats.
Oh, on cats.
Yeah.
I just meant pets.
No, cats
Yeah.
specifically. I could absolutely care less about. I won't go out of my way to be mean to cats.
Yeah, you're not
I'm very
gonna kick
allergic
'em.
to cats, and so therefore I've developed a organic hatred.
Oh, he can't come
Because I don't
want
want to be near him. I don't want him to touch me because it's going to like make my head puff up.
Oh, yeah.
So I just, because of that, I don't like cats. Instinctively, I should like cats because they're everything I like about animals. They're cuddly, they purr.
Right.
That's great.
They don't want walks.
No, but
They just wanna hang
I'm
out.
a dog guy.
But I like cats. I don't know why you're making me seem to be a cat hater.
No,
Cats?
no, you don't hate the cats. I'm saying you love them, but I treat them like they're like equal members of the family.
Yeah.
And you love them, like you're here. You want to? Does that make sense?
Sultan's new book he's going to put out is called Dinner for Three. That's what he's trying to say.
I just feel like every time we plan a natural disaster, because you've been thinking about mudslides, because we're kind of on a canyon.
Yeah, I'm trying to be prepared if there's an earthquake and there's
Fire.
a mudslide, what to do.
Yeah.
And I always say, I'm like, if we have to get out of the house and we can't find the cats, we have to just get out of the house. Cats will find a way to survive and we'll get them after. And you're like, no, we have to find the cats and then get out of the house.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, what if we lose our lives because we're looking for the cats?
We don't have to live with the shame of not. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Well, because I also think, I might be wrong, but I feel like you would bolt too soon. And I'd be like, there's so much time. Like, because that happened with the fire thing. Remember that? In New York, we had the fire department come by, and they're like, we smelled smoke. And they're like, was your building on fire? I've done this joke on stage, but it's a true story. And they're like, yeah, come down. We had to let the fire department in. And like, they made it seem like our building was potentially on fire. And Emma's like, we gotta get out of here. I'm like, wait, the cats. And she's like, there's no time.
There was no time.
There's no fire.
Yeah, if the fire department's asking to be let in, there's time.
Yeah.
They don't ask when it's an emergency.
Yeah, they would have busted down 2 doors.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I always remember that. I'm like, don't leave the cats. And you're like, well, if it's an emergency.
What would you do, Mike, if there was no time and you had to save yourself and
cats?
Becca and your dog was at home and you couldn't find the dog? What would you do?
Well, I think that my instinct would get me out of the house.
You first,
Like,
right?
Becca, and then
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
and then if there's time, the dogs.
See?
And if
There you
there's
go.
still time, the cold cuts, because I just bought them. And they're expensive. I get the good stuff. It's prosciutto. It's Genoa salami. I got to get the...
He comes out with the dog and cold cuts, and Becca's like, "Did you get the passports?" Burnt down. Get the passports.
With the sandwich toasted now. It's very good.
Yeah, like I feel like we would lose the passports and the social security cards, which I think are the biggest pain in the
But
ass.
those are the ones you can replace. You can't
Can you?
replace the pet. Yeah,
Oh,
you
no,
can't
the
replace
pets
the
you
pets.
can't. No, you gotta
I mean,
get the
you can,
pets.
but like it's not the same.
I'm definitely grabbing the pets.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm also the weird one because I grew up in that household. You see how my mom takes care of that cat?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
Like you can't. Oh no.
But I think that I wouldn't have to worry. If I find Becca, I'm going to find the dog because the dog's never more than 2 inches away from Becca.
Aw.
Yeah, she's obsessed.
Aw.
And she's 13 and started humping me recently, which I don't understand.
Oh, our cats started doing that too.
Yeah, she's never had any.
Wait,
she will just start licking my leg and then just start air humping, and it's very strange because she's old and
Yeah.
it never showed signs of attraction. I don't know how she just all of a sudden wants to hump.
You're like caviar, Mike. It's an acquired taste, and it took her 13 or took her however many years to go. I think I want to hump Mike.
Maybe
I don't even know what humping is. I'm a woman cat.
she was
Here I am.
clawing on me.
Was she Becca's cat?
Or dog.
Dog.
dogs?
No,
Yeah.
we got her together.
Oh, okay.
From a shout out to well, I can't remember it, but really cool place in Long Island that does it's
place
just
you
a
love.
senior
Long
dog
Island.
rescue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that part we love because that's
Yeah.
where we got Sandy. Yeah.
There you go.
Aw,
Little
Sandy.
shelter. That's it. Little
There you
shelter.
go. All right.
They do a great job. No kill. All old dogs. They're the best.
I love a good.
You
old
want a dog that's on a pillow all the time? Come down to a little shelter. That's how they sound.
In San Diego, we have a bunch of because they have dog tracks in Mexico, so they're all retired greyhounds.
Ooh.
And there's a couple rescues that take those retired racer dogs, and then you can adopt them.
I'd
You
like
just
a
see them
greyhound.
walking. There's a lot of greyhounds in San Diego, and I think they adopted them from there. Greyhounds look sweet.
Do their
so
little
cute.
knees or they have no hair on their knees or something like that because they're tied into those tiny cages and their knees rub up against it? There's a thing. The's little
Oh my
patches
God, I
of hair
didn't
on
know
those
that.
things. If you look at them, look at the corners of their body or something where they would touch the cage because they're very they're not treated very well.
I was
So
assuming
it's good.
that.
It's good
Yeah.
to get them
Yeah.
rescued.
Yeah, you get a retired one, and
Yeah,
then you're
yeah.
like, come live in freedom.
Well, they call them the 60-mile-an-hour couch potatoes
Yes.
because they're the fastest dogs ever, but they're not unless they have
lazy.
to. They're not going anywhere.
That's
They're,
so sweet.
they're either sprinting or laying down.
Yeah.
There's
I'd
no
like
in
to
between.
get a little one.
Yeah, you like the miniature ones. I don't think they race those.
Oh.
I think the big ones are the racers.
They do, but that's at the carnival.
Yeah.
at the
Come watch this miniature
pig
one.
race.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll get a greyhound. I like their heads. Their heads are just this big.
They're so,
Yeah.
so
It's like
dumb.
a Tylenol pill, like a big one, and then their giant bodies that make no sense.
Oh, they look
underneath the
so
legs.
stupid.
They
They're
look,
so cute.
yeah. I love animals that look dumb,
Yeah.
but not too dumb. Because one time I held a rabbit, and I'm
English
like, "You're
bulldog.
too dumb." Oh, that's why I love English. I want an
They're
English
the
bulldog.
best.
Just
I'm gonna name him Mush.
yeah, just looks like a drunk in a corner of a bar.
Yeah, that's pretty good, De Niro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that De Niro?
That was De Niro.
Hey, I'm a daddy. Something like that. Oh, I love it when I get praised. This is
a good impression.
If that casting director reacted like either one of you during me going, I would have nailed that role for janitor on Bella and the Bulldogs. But she
The Bulldogs, spell in the books. Look how that turned out.
Bella and the Bulldogs.
was-
Oh my God!
and it was
I
a
could've-
bulldog impression.
Yeah, they're like, you know
Wow.
what? Maybe not janitor, but we do need a bulldog. And then I come in.
When the bulldog becomes a bell.
I often wonder, how crazy would it be to get a weird off? Let's say I was the bulldog in Bella and the Bulldogs, and it becomes the biggest kids show of all time, which it didn't, but let's say it did. And then like John Cena, you get requested a lot for like Make-A-Wish kids. So I just constantly have to show up at children's hospitals and go, hey, what's that little butt? And then I just do that for the rest of my life. That would be so awesome.
What a dream.
That would be a awesome, like...
Because the other side of that is having some popular character and you got to go to corporates and do like...
Yes.
Show up there. That's the nightmare.
Yes.
But somewhere it's like, all right, I'm making a ton of money. I have a ton of money and I get to go make kids happy. Greatest day of my life.
Like John Cena just got to show up and be himself and hand
bust
out
through
some
a wall
shirts,
every 10
bust through a
minutes.
wall, and he's like, "I'm huge."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "We love you," and I'm like, wouldn't that be awesome? If you were like a John Cena superhero or a bulldog.
We got to write a kids show. That's the only way.
I know.
What if it's a dog?
Yeah.
And you like write clues for him. Think that could have legs.
What if there's a dog, but the other end's a cat? And they're stuck together on the ass ends, and then they wonder how they do bathroom.
What if there's a street called Sesame? Hear me out. But there's like a bird that talks.
And there's a politician in a trash can, and he comes out all green.
And there's an elephant that's huffing gas all the time. They call him Snuff-A-Lotta gas.
All right, let me try. What if there's a Tella and then a Tubby?
There we go.
There you go. I was so not on that wavelength with you that I thought you were going to say, what if there's a Tella and then there's a new one? It's still good.
Yeah, my brain went to Nutella because I have fat
What
brain.
if we put peanuts and butter together? That's where I went.
Well, I'm glad we ended silly. This was like a dinner with mom. Mm-hmm. It was like, well, this is wrapping up. And then she's like, oh, I forgot to tell you. Something weird happened at work. And then she told me the whole story.
And now I'm going to turn on Wheel of Fortune.
Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da.
Have you seen it since Ryan Seacrest took over?
Well, I think I was just doing Price is Right. I don't know what the wheel... He does Wheel of Fortune now?
Yeah, he took over for Pat
Didn't know
Sajak.
that.
Is he ever going to retire?
Why
or
would
he
he?
just likes doing
I think
this
he's got a
stuff?
gambling problem, and I'm saying this
Seacrest?
with zero knowledge. So this is all entertainment purposes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, doesn't
He
he,
must.
have enough money? Like, why?
He
must.
created the
Yeah.
Kardashians. He's the
must.
executive producer of the Kardashians. Originally, I don't know if he still is.
Must have some sort of crazy debts or gambling addictions or something, because there's no reason that man should be working that
Or
hard.
maybe he just doesn't want to sit with his feelings.
That also could be it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of that.
Maybe he's in debt emotionally.
Yeah, because it can't. You know what would be insane? If he said he finds it creatively fulfilling.
That would be crazy.
That would be insane.
Now
if he's like,
ask me to do Wheel of Fortune right now. I'll burn this place to the ground. I'll do Wheel of Fortune right now every day for the rest of my life, because that's a step up for me. Doing a game show for him. What's he doing?
I do have the dream of like taking over for Steve Harvey as Family Feud,
would
but
love
do it
that.
as Steve Harvey. Because I don't mean like, I just mean like, because he doesn't say much, and they say something dumb and he looks at the camera and goes,
What? Huh?
that guy's pretty dumb.
He said what?
And he has nice suits and he gets
Yeah.
paid like $1 jillion. I'm
It's
like,
nice suits with his name, like his brand suits.
They're his?
Steve Harvey suits.
I didn't know there were Steve Harvey
Yeah,
suits.
yeah.
I thought people just said that because he's the guy that wears suits like that.
Well, here's
Him
the
and
thing.
Southern Baptist preachers.
I'm only saying that because, yes, what
Yeah.
you're saying is true, but I've also seen billboards in Atlanta with Steve Harvey suits. But now I'm wondering if they're just people calling them Steve Harvey suits because of the style.
Right.
Because in my mind, I always went, oh, look, he's got his own suit line because they're saying his name. That could be wrong.
So many buttons.
Atlanta can be a little bit scammy like that.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people saying things that aren't true, especially when it comes to business.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's why it's so close to Florida. Because Florida has a lot of
Yeah.
that.
That's all Florida is.
Yeah, it's all Florida is. Hey, I got a business.
I'm thinking about becoming president.
Never do business in Florida.
What?
What?
Great drinks. I love this. I love the people.
I love Florida. Every
Yeah.
time I go, I feel like I'm on vacation and I want to stay. And then I want to buy property there. And then we have friends that just moved out of there because they got hit by 2 hurricanes. They lived in
Yeah.
Fort Myers. And they're after the second hurricane, they're like, I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think they ran out of insurance money to give us. So I think we have to leave.
Yeah. I don't know why you live there, but you know.
Well, I think if you already live there, you might be in a position where you're stuck because it's not easy to move. It's not cheap to move, I should say that. Especially if you have a job
And you can't sell your house.
and no one wants to buy your house.
Yeah.
You're like, all right. There's still super rich people moving to Florida.
Well, they're moving.
Well, I mean, they're buying houses that are expensive and, from what I understand, uninsured. So they're kind of rolling the dice on it. Because I heard insurance companies are kind of like, we're not covering hurricanes anymore. There's too many of them. We don't have it. So that means like Stallone and all these like big dudes are like buying all these houses for like just gambling the money. It's crazy.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I don't have the kind of money to know.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
I'm like, what's the plan?
Well, I think there's like no property tax or no income tax if you're a resident or something like that. So like they're just hoping that outweighs the loss of the house or something like that. There's got to be.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
there's got to be sheltering enough, you know?
Yeah, I guess maybe that covers the cost. Maybe that is the insurance.
Yeah.
Like I'm saving so much in taxes, I'll just buy a new house when hurricane whoever the hell blows my house down.
Yeah. You go to the house and you ring the doorbell and your finger goes through. It's made out of tracing paper.
We did our taxes this year. This is the first time California took more money than the feds. And I'm like, how did that happen? It was insane. Usually it's like a third of what the feds take. Dang. And this time it was like even money. Or it was like a little bit more to state of California. And I was
That's crazy.
Yeah, California's high.
It's high dollar.
Yeah.
But at least there's a lot of homeless people. So I can tell that the tax money is helping the community.
But it's pretty cool. A lot of fires.
A lot of fires.
A lot of
rain. I mean, listen, it's still great. The weather's still great 99% of the time. But yeah.
Poke bowls.
A lot of poke bowls. You're not big on the poke bowls.
Yeah,
poke? Okay. Remember when that kid corrected me?
One time we went to an ice cream place.
Oh, yeah.
I saw like the chocolate flavors. They were all fancy names, and it was Café de Chocolat.
Sure. That's how we wrote it on the menu. No E at the end, so you know it was chocolat.
So I was like, can I get the Café de Chocolat? And the kid's like, you mean Café de Chocolate?
It was just some teenage goober.
Love that.
And that happened to us in the reverse of that happened to us in Provo, Utah, when I went to go film my second dry bar. Went to a Japanese place across from the venue. It was run by all white people, but the white guy spoke Japanese. I think he married like a Japanese lady, and they opened this place. And then I think his son was our waiter. And I tried to order poke, but the way I assumed he said it. Because I know it's poke, but I don't want to come off all big time, big city coming to the small town going, we call it poke. So I said, I'll have the poke bowl. And this kid goes, poke? And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm trying to dumb it down to you.
Yeah,
but
I'm trying
now
to come
you're
down to
making
your
me
level.
feel dumb.
There was a scene. What was the scene from The League? Where there was a white guy at a sushi place, and he kept having the accent, and I can't remember who the actor was, a famous actor, and they were like, "Where are you from?" And he's like, Omaha. Like,
Omaha.
Where's that? They were like, he's like, Nebraska.
Omaha.
I'm sorry. What did you think I said?
Remember when last time we got sushi, I had like one beer in me, and then we ordered one more roll, and then as the guy left, you're like, did you just bow to him? I did.
Where was that?
It was at the one in Encinitas after we went to my manager's office.
Oh, yeah, we were sitting at the thing, and you went, thank you.
It was just,
You kind of went like that.
and then you're like, did you just bow? And I'm like, I think I did.
Was from Along Came Polly. 4 people, big table, many thanks. At an Indian restaurant. And the guy goes, all right. It's like the
great
trap
movie.
that white people get fall into is that you want to be kind, but that kindness is always wrong.
Yeah.
It's always the wrong way to do it.
There's such a fine line between kind and condescending.
Yeah.
And every time, this is also added to the social anxiety. Every time I try to be kind, I fall into condescending. I'm like, stop trying.
Yeah.
Just smile and be yourself, and don't go poke or pokey or whatever. Just go, yeah, what you said. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I mispronounce that?
Can I get the raw mishmash of tuna stuff? I don't know how to say it, man. I'm not going to do it.
Do you mind
Omaha.
do you mind grilling all these?
Blend it up into a salmon smoothie. Ew. All right.
I'd like it grilled with fries on the side.
Do you mean smooth A? All right. That's good.
All right. I think we did. I think we ended. I think we did it.
so,
What are we doing
yeah.
on time?
Hour 15.
That's
Wow,
enough
this
of
is our
that.
longest episode.
That's a podcast.
Because we
right
felt
there.
comfortable. Do you know how hard it was for me not to eat the rest of this cookie during the entire recording?
I got this right here and I haven't eaten yet. I haven't eaten anything today.
Let's go
The
eat that cookie.
self-control.
Episode 404. We didn't even make an error joke.
No.
Error for, well, whatever. We'll call this episode something else.
Persian New Year.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk enough about Persian New Year.
That's okay. Fine.
I'm so sorry.
I'll be mad when we. I'm kidding.
You don't want people to know you're Persian anyway, so try to keep that on the DL.
Wait, what? Why?
So that
Because
the Persians don't talk to you.
Oh, that's true.
I like how you forgot what you
I
said.
forgot.
All of a sudden, my joke being a racist is real. What did just happen?
Wait, what? Anyway, thank you for listening, downloading, leaving comments for Emma and Mike and myself.
And David, hit me up.
Dave, hit
Dave.
up. And if your name isn't Dave, I'm sorry, is what I remembered. Hit up Mike. Follow him at Big Man Mike, along with everybody else. Emma doesn't want to be followed. Don't follow her. And follow me if you don't already. Zoltan Comedy. Come see us live. Bye, everybody.
Trekking heavier, traveling light. There's one thing that's right wherever I go. That's where I am.